So the Chinese, they discover the magnetic field in the earth. They didn't know why it was there. They didn't have an understanding that there's molten lava, and it's the rotation and the circulation of the molten lava that generate magnetic field. But they know it's there, and then eventually they discover the magnet, and so there's no argument that there is magnetic field. And then they also discover magnetic field in a body, except that they didn't really have the equivalent of a compass. What they have was the mind. And so they actually discover this energy field with the mind, with the meditative mind. And so when you practice meditation to a point where you're completely oblivious of your body, you're no longer burdened by this body, you reach what's called jhana, then your body becomes just this energy field. And so it is these people that really understood why there are 12 energy lines, why there is conception and governing. And so the Western doctors the Western scientists haven't caught up to that yet. In fact, they often ridicule and say, what are you talking about? What energy line? And because we never see it. Well, you're never going to find chi in a dead body. It's just as simple as that. Okay? Many of you reach out to me privately and mention that you are a caregiver like me. And so how do we apply some of these techniques to someone you're caring for who even sitting might be a problem? So my own experience working with my dad, who's actually here, but he's on Zoom, is that when you have someone who just for one reason or another, he's just not feeling well, and so he's lying in bed for a few days, so he loses a lot of his energy, right? Or if the person is in bed, bedridden, then that's even worse. Or if a person is sitting on a chair or a wheelchair, that's the same thing. So the Chinese actually believe that this energy point, the one I just mentioned, called Gushing spring, is the beginning of the kidney energy lines. Now you may say, well, wait a minute, where's the kidney now? The kidney is right here. So what does that have to do? We're talking about energy, okay? So this is what the Chinese believe. So this is the beginning of the kidney energy lines. Now the kidney is an amazing organ, right? Because 24 hours, in a 24-hour cycle, the entire volume of your blood goes through that kidney 40 times. That's amazing, right? In fact, the Chinese medicine called the kidney your second heart. It is that important. So actually, by working with your kidney, you're actually helping your heart, or more accurately, helping with circulations. So when you have someone whose feet is no longer touching the ground for one reason or another, right? Because a normal person, we either stand or walk. So our gushing spring, right? Remember? That's what's called gushing spring, is always stomping on the ground. And so we're always activating our kidney. And so we get a lot of energy either from the earth or just from the mechanical motion. But when a person is no longer able to do that, he loses a lot of his energy, mainly because he's no longer activating through this energy point to his kidney. So if you can help this person by massaging, and you can just start, you don't need to start there. You start by just massaging his toes, because each of the toes have some energy lines anyway. And so if the person lies in bed, his feet are very cold anyway. So it feels good to just massage. And then massage the side before you start in the middle, and you start gently in the middle. And then you keep asking, does it hurt? Does it hurt? Like that, okay? And then eventually you kind of press down a little bit. And the first time it hurts, so just back off a little bit. And then you finish. And it's amazing how much you help the person. It's just amazing. And then when you finish, massage the heel as well. This is the bladder. This is where the bladder energy line starts. Remember, the bladder and the kidney starts work together. This is a very, very amazing, very, very good energy point, even for yourself or for your loved one. And so why is that? Why is that point so important? Other than the fact that it's a second heart. Well, the Chinese believe that a person is composed of 3 different synergistic components, not just the body. The body, the qi, the energy, and the mind. The mind is not the brain, it's something else. Okay, it's more spiritual. And when they talk about body, they can talk about the entire body, or they will talk about what's called the essence. So the Chinese medicine doctors believe that humans have essence, and the essence are the liquids in our body. The blood is obvious, but more important than that is that they believe that the kidney is the source of essence. And it's with that essence that we can manufacture marrow. Right? Now you know that the only thing that actually manufacture blood is the marrow, not the heart, not the kidney. It's the marrow, and the marrow is stored in the bones, right? And so marrow, the Chinese have a general concept of marrow that is not just the marrow in the bone, but also the marrow in the spinal cord, and they even consider the brain as part of your marrow. And so they believe that the essence in your kidney is what's responsible for the marrow, and the marrow is what's being grown in the bones and the spines, and then ultimately the marrow in your spine connects to your brain. So by working this point, it actually gives a lot of energy ultimately to the brain. So if you have someone who suffers dementia, or just being sick in general, and he's just not very clear, this is a good energy point, and this is from experience that really works. Okay, so this is what I want to share with you tonight.